All right, so does question 2 look like the bad one?
It's really good. No,
What?
All right, question 2 it is.
This is where you said the AP classroom will be Monday.
I'd like you to have that finished, yeah, by Friday if possible, so that we can go over it.
Oh, okay.
But I don't wanna, kids, I don't wanna overstress you, I know you have a lot going on, but we gotta focus, we gotta get ready for this thing, it's almost here.
top 2
All right, number 2, free response.
Graduation.
Trying to figure out what's going on here, let's see. Student won $500. At first, the student kept the money in a desk. After 10 months, he deposited the money in a savings account.
Hey, I don't know if you know this, so you need to answer.
It's up there. It's up there.
Okay, so they are giving us the piecewise function. And we gotta fill in the empty blanks. All right. So. Is that T over, what is that, T over 12?
Yeah.
Okay. Use the given data to write 2 equations that can be used to find the values for constants A and B in the expression. All right, so the given data was if T is 6, the amount was 50867. And if T is 12, the amount was 517.50. Do you all agree that's your given data? Now notice that for both of those, the T value is bigger than 0. So therefore, we will be using this line of the piecewise function. So A, B to the 6 over 12 equals 508.67. So is it okay if I just make this 1/2? Remember, that's T and M of T. So what would our second equation be? A, B to the first, basically, equals 517.50. Is that okay? All right, now, that's okay, so there are the 2 equations. Find the values for A and B as decimal approximations. Okay? So what do you want to do? Those are our equations. What do you want to do? So 508.67 over B to the 1/2 equals 517.5 over B. Would everyone agree with that? They're both divide, and set them equal to each other. Okay, so 508.67B equals 517.50 B to the 1/2. I'm going to divide by 508.67 and by B to the 1/2. What's B over B to the 1/2? Yeah, it's B to the 1/2. We subtract the exponents. So it'd be B to the 1/2 or root B. So root b, or b to the 1/2, equals that, whatever that is. And so I'm gonna square that. And it looks like b is 1.035. And then, once I know what b is, a is 517.50 divided by it. So 517.50 divided by that. Did you get 499.991? Just logically, what should that A be, do you think? Should be 500. I'm trying to figure out, why do I have round off there like that? Because I didn't round anything off. Oh, I know why. I know why. These data values are rounded off. They rounded those off to the nearest cent. So theoretically, that should be 500. But with the math, it came out to be that right there. If A is a money amount, I don't know. I'm gonna leave those decimal places. So what's my equation look like? 499.91 times 1.035 gives you over 12. Now, I just did all that by hand because that's what somebody told me to do. What kind of an equation is this? I know it's a piece, but think of it like this. What kind of an equation is that? That is an exponential, right? And I have a couple of ordered pairs here. Could I have put these 2 points in, L1, L2, and done an exponential regression on that? Yes. And I had permission to do that because they told me to use decimal approximations. And it didn't say to do it by hand. I have a calculator on this part of the test. So this is all fine. There's nothing wrong with any of this. But you could have put these in as L1, L2, and then exponential regression. Okay, well, we got our equation now. So what's our model? Right here. This is the second line of my model. All right, next question. That's A. B. Use the given data to find, oh, we did this yesterday, to find the average rate of change of the amount of money the student has in dollars per month from -2 to 12. All right, so here we go. I'm going to find the average rate of change from -2 to 12. So the average rate of change would be M of 12 minus M of -2 over 12 minus -2. Would everybody agree with that? And then here's my data. Right here's my, say use the data. Okay? So from t equals -12 to t equals 12. Now, or -2, I mean. -2 isn't one of my data points. I don't have a data point that says -2 comma whatever. But what do I know about any of those negative values? Well, it's going to be 500. So this right here is 500. This is 517.50. And I'm dividing by 14. So what is that? Did you get 1.25? Use the given data to find the average rate of change from -2 to 12. There we go. Express your answer as a decimal. Show the computations. All right, is that okay with everyone? Part 2, use n of 12, so use this point, and the average rate of change to estimate the amount of money in dollars the student has when t is 20. All right, anybody remember? We did this exact thing yesterday. Anybody remember it? Gosh, I hope it's on the exam. Anybody remember what we have to do? Write the equation of our line using the point they tell me. So y minus 517.50 equals 1.25 x minus 12. But I want x to be 20. So I'm going to put 20 in there. Minus 12, and then do the math. Did you get 527.50? Use m of 12 and the average rate of change to find the value when t is 20. What do you think? Is that okay? All right. Then part 3. Let A of t be the estimate of the amount of money in dollars the student has at time t using the average rate of change found in 1. In 2, A of 20 was, in B1. In part 2, A of 20 was computed. If A of t is used to estimate the values for m of t, for t is 12, bigger than 12, the error in the estimates will increase as t increases. Okay, so the error in the estimates will increase as t increases. Explain why this is true. Can anybody explain why that's true? Alex?
Because the slope of the exponential function is continually increasing.
So, exactly. So your model has a slope of 1.25. But the actual, or the average rate of change model, but the actual relationship is exponential. So the farther we go along the line, the difference between these two is going to keep increasing. In other words, the gap is going to keep growing because the exponential is growing so much faster than the linear. The linear just plods along, never changes, keeps going up in a ratio of like 5 to 4, basically. But this guy is geometric and he's going to keep on shooting up. The student plans to close the account when the amount of money in the account reaches 565. Explain how this information can be used to determine the domain limitations for the model M. What do you think about that?
I think you just solve, like, set that equation equal 565, whatever t is.
Yeah, because isn't the if he closes the account, isn't the problem over? We're done, right? And that t value, that is exactly what Fred said when the ordered pair is 565. So if you look at these ordered pairs, when this is 565, whatever this is the domain limitation. That's the end of the problem. Can't go past that. So this says t bigger than 0, but if he's closing the account, that's going to cap this. We can start this at 0, but there's going to be an end number, and it's going to be that number right there. Now, could we find that number? What would we do to find that number? $499.99 to the T over 12 has to equal 527, oh no, 565. How do we solve it? Yeah, oh yeah, okay, so could you actually put these in and find where they intersect? Yeah, that might be the easiest way to do it. I was going back to old school. I was gonna divide and take the logarithm of both sides, but you don't have to do that. You can actually type both of these in and see where they cross. So let's see.
Even more advanced.
See if I did this already. Oh yeah, I did it already and got 42.632.
It's like extra Desmos.
Exactly. Desmos premium.
Yep, you have Desmos, Felix.
What about the A cycle?
Oh, shoot, I'm still in polar mode. Shoot.
It's not weird,
Running in radian.
but
You'll get it now.
You
it'll
don't
get the job
have
done.
radians. It doesn't matter on this problem, but
It's so.
always going
That sucks because I have to go back and
Like
forth
two.
between this
1
and
out of
physics.
10.
2 total, just 2 in general.
Just
2 ever.
Just 2. Maybe like 4.
Which is to say 2 more than the black.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh?
Okay.
That's pretty equal. We're in a drought. I feel like future breath thought it wasn't enough. I'm still thinking it's a drought.
Am I the only one typing this in? And I'm not even the one that has to take the test.
No. I didn't type it in.
I got 42.
Oh, I need to type it in.
For a calendar year.
As much help as I can get.
Wait, make sure but mine
I was just giving you credit.
What?
Thank you.
like this your one.
Got 42. 385 or 42.639. It's like
What did you get?
42.639.
yeah.
Yep, 42.639. Is that what I got?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, so again, there's no directions here. It doesn't say you have to do it with the calculator. So you could divide, logarithm both sides and do that. But anyway, it comes out to be 42.6 something. Okay? So your explanation is what? You have to explain this. How does that impact the domain? Closing the account effectively ends the problem, right? So we know the ending Y, we have found our ending X. So by closing the account at $565, you have stopped time at 42 point whatever. What? I will in turn office hours. All right. Is that it for number 2? Is that the whole problem? Yes. All right, we have time to do one more. That will give you more time to do your free response, or your multiple choice. So, 1, 3, or 4?
4.
Oh, this isn't gonna go
4? All right, let's look at 4.
No, don't you touch this.
Here we go, problem 4.
You have it? Why would you take it?
I give it back. All right. Solve g of x equals 3. Oh my gosh, this is easy. Solve g of x, there's my g function, equals 3. Okay, so we all know how to do that, right?
Yeah.
This one is no calculator, so you're gonna have to do this on your own. So I got 127 over 4. And there's nothing wrong with 127 over 4 unless it says decimal approximation, which it's going to say on the calculator problems. This is not calculator. All right, so h of x for pi over 4, h of x equals pi over 4. All right? So this is what it looks like. This is an incredibly easy problem if you know what this says. What does this say? The angle whose sine is that is pi over 4. The angle whose sine is this number is pi over 4. The angle is pi over 4. So in other words, if I take the sine of pi over 4, I get 8x. The angle whose sine is that number is pi over 4. What is the sine of pi over 4? Root 2 over 2. So root 2 over 2 equals 8x. So what does x equal? Root 2 over 16. The functions j and k are given. Rewrite j, which is secant cotangent. Rewrite j using only sine. Okay. What is secant? 1 over cosine. What is cotangent? Oh, this one's easy. So what happens, this is a multiply problem, so what happens? What am I left with? Yeah, there we go. What were the directions? Rewrite it with only signs and no other functions. Wow, that was easy. Hope I get one like that on the test. All right, rewrite K as a power of 4. Okay, this one, you can do this. Here's K, 6. So 16 to the 3x times 4 over 2. You are gonna write this with only 4. So that's easy. 16 is 4 squared. We got that. 4 is 4 to the first. What about 2? What's 2? 4 to the 1/2. Square root of 4. 4 to the 1/2. So now these are going to get multiplied. So I have 4 to the 6x times 4 to the first over 4 to the 1/2. All right, 4 to the what? 6x plus 1 minus 1/2.
It's 4 to the, it's 4 to the 6x times 4 to the x. I
Oh,
got the
this is an
equation.
x?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so it's 4 to the 6x plus x minus 1/2. So it's 4 to the 7x minus 1/2. So what was the question again? Make sure we answer it. Rewrite it in that form, which we did, where a and b are constants. And finally C. Find all the values that yield an output value of 1. So in other words, root 3 tangent x plus pi over 2 1. Does that make sense to you? All right, let's divide by root 3. So the tangent equals 1 over root 3. The tangent of what is 1 over root 3? Where is 1 over root 3 on your unit circle for a tangent value? Pi over 6. So whatever this is, oh, by the way, is there any other place? 7 pi over 6? So if this right here is pi over 6 or 7 pi over 6, when you take the tangent of that, you're gonna get 1 over root 3. Would you agree with that? So whatever that is, which is x plus pi over 2, it has to equal pi over 6 or 7 pi over 6. Right? So what's x? AP pre-calculus students, 6 days away from your exam. What is 1/6 minus 1/2? Negative 1/3. So x is negative pi over 3. Or x is what? 2 pi over 3. Now be careful, because this question says find all the values, which means we aren't done, right? What do we do when we have to find all the values? Plus or minus? Plus or minus?
There you go. Yes. Oh, there's just.
Now, actually, I'm not even gonna do this one, because what is the period of the tangent? This is a tangent problem. What's the period of tangent? Pi. And what happens if I take negative 1/3 and add 1 pi? What do I get? So isn't that answer already included? So I get it, but I don't really need it, because this will answer everything. Or, remember, you can do this. If you like that way better, that's okay. If you're letting n be an integer, then you don't need the plus or minus. You can just do the plus.
Could you do negative pi over 3 and 2 pi over 3 if you make the if plus or minus 2 pi m? Could you do that? Could you use both answers if you use 2 pi m?
You could, that would cover all the bases. That wouldn't be the most efficient way to do it, but it would cover all the bases. And I've never scored this exam, so I have no idea how that would fit in terms of the score, but it would be accurate. I don't know. I know that putting that down would be extra, and I don't know how to do that. It would be correct. I just don't know how they always want the best answer. I don't know. Okay, well, that didn't take very long at all. That was quick. All right, so you have the rest of the period, not much time. Your task for Friday. I see you on Friday. Your task is to do the last two through response and finish up the multiple choice. AP Classroom. Yes. So when you're done with your AP Classroom work, you can submit that, and then it grades it, doesn't it? Okay.
I submitted mine, but I don't know if it shows me my grade.
I don't even think I did. I would just want to do some. I'm gonna be scared as hard to win the fight. You might call and I'll win the fight. Guaranteed.
I just.
I might be.
Hey, no. You might win the battle lines though.
He goes, I'm trying to call, I was like, bro, if you play like that, I'm gonna fault you. And he goes, key is card, and you win immediately. I was like, bro, he might call. I think if Avery gets my card, I might have a chance. Like, someone pisses me
The
off.
last two,
I'll have a
free response.
little raised out.
little extra.